everyone. Welcome to Mock the Week. I'm Dara, and joining me this week are Andy Parsons, Hal Cruttenden and Miles Jupp, Alistair McGowan, Hugh and Gary Delaney. We start tonight with a round called Picture of the Week. I show the panel a topical image and ask them to tell me what's happening. So, what's going on here?
Is Putin saying, "Damn, did I put the cyanide in the tea or in the sherry?"
Is Cameron, in fact, trying to upset Putin by trying to drink his sherry in the most gay way possible?
Putin does look really relaxed, doesn't he? I think he's watching one of his favourite sports, and maybe two bears killing a dog.
What, Bear Dog? I love Bear Dog. I watch it on Russian television all the time.
Cameron presumably is just saying, 2 more series and I invade Syria.
Is that David Cameron tries to lighten the mood at the G20 by playing a tiny trumpet?
Are you sure it's not actually a picture of Mr. Burns and Smithers?
I think they're discussing election strategy. I think Putin's explaining how he's already won his next 4 elections.
Presumably they're playing the Obama speech drinking game. Every time Obama says red line, they have to have a drink.
Maybe neither of them are speaking.
That's true.
Just taking apart the entire conceit of Andy's bit.
Can I just say at this point that I can't do an impression of David Cameron? I don't think anybody can. And in fact, I think I was only asked on this program tonight because Dara actually, there was a point earlier in the week that Dara was not feeling very well. So they said, so we need a cover in case Dara doesn't make it to the show and the recording. So if you can come in and do that, would be great. Andy Parsons.
What a particularly savage Ed Byrne impersonation you're doing there. I never knew he had a love child with Louis Walsh, but they seem to be living in one giant house together, raised by Terry Wogan. Anyway, so...
Don't worry, we won't let him insult you like that again.
Do they have the correct answer, please?
They're at the G20.
They are, right, of course, at the G20. Thank you very much, Andy Parsons. Yes, very good. Very good. This is a picture of Vladimir Putin and David Cameron at the recent G20 summit when Russia played host to world leaders in St. Petersburg. The gathering was at times deemed to be frosty, with leaders clashing over Syria. Do we think Russia were good hosts?
No, I don't. I think they're great. Were they? They slagged us off for being a small island.
They did.
And then David Cameron had to come forward and say, look, we've lots of achievements, including Shakespeare, the Beatles and One Direction. And, of course, One Direction making it big in America at the moment. And we've got to thank the Americans, because obviously the more time they spend in America, the less time they will be in the UK.
I think the insult was in translation anyway, wasn't it? Because Putin actually said little country, and it wasn't about Britain, it was about Cameron, and he didn't add tree at the end.
It was very... They didn't feel that the G20 normally had a rap slam-down session where countries would bang the others. Oh, Britain, you so small, you only got one time zone. Oh! Can you hear me, Indonesia? I think you can. Oh, I'm sorry, Britain, you don't have a tundra region. Canada knows what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Also, I don't think that Britain does only have one time zone. I know Lowestoft is years behind us.
If it was bad for Britain being insulted, there were countries who came out of it worse. Spain have dropped out of the G20, and they just got an observer's seat, which is like inviting them to your dinner party and going, well, I've got an old deck chair. You can sit over here and you can watch the chat going on, and some mismatched cutlery we can give you.
We'll chuck you a drumstick every now and again.
You know, you're right there, Spain. See, well up there. And the seating plan, do you see all the hassle about the seating plan?
Well, it's a great shot, isn't it?
It's a fabulous shot, isn't it?
When do they put in the massive roulette ball?
Yeah.
That'd be great. Who's going to speak next? We'll find out with this.
Catering Spain has to run around the outside. And when...
Being chased by a bull.
Spain has to run around the outside. They have to tap somebody in the shoulder. The person has to get up and run after Spain. And if they catch Spain before Spain get into their chair, then they get to keep their place in the G20.
To me, that looks like a meeting of the BBC bosses to discuss the overspending problem.
Why don't we just throw a load of money into the middle and we'll wrestle for it? But there's no way into the middle that there would be some point where somebody would have called for an aid and gone, I've dropped my pen. Get my pen. Discreetly lower themselves into the middle of the meringue. Slowly fish the pen back out again. Don't mind me. What gift, by the way? Do you know what gift Russia gave Cameron?
Oh, yes, coasters. No, the ashes of Kim Philby. No. No, it might have been a tea towel.
That would have been great in a tiny Ashes thing. They could have played spying tournaments every 2 years for the Ashes of Kim Philby.
Was it Bill Bryson's book, Notes from a Small Island?
Oh, that would have been a zinger. Maybe you've read it. It covers your entire country in 200 pages. I think Canada knows what I'm talking about.
Was it like
Ignore that at an international level. Zing!
Was it like one of those Russian dolls with Cameron on the outside and then Gordon
Yes.
Brown in that and then Tony Blair inside that?
It
And
descended
then
down
all the way back to Churchill.
all the way down Churchill. It was a set of Russian dolls with British Prime Minister.
So Ted Heath was inside Margaret Thatcher. Which would have come as a surprise to a lot of people.
And a first for Ted Heath.
OK, moving on. What's going on here?
Is it Bring His Son to Work Day?
If that is a corgi by the Queen's blanket, that needs a bit of grooming, doesn't it?
It's Charles saying, Andrew's down. They've got him. He fell for it completely.
Is the Queen going, look, the Middletons are driving themselves?
There's the Queen saying, oh, look, Charles, there's Helen Mirren. I'm going to be playing her in the new Danny Boyle film.
It's possible they are just enjoying the badger cull.
Maybe they're not speaking.
Stop undermining the structure. Whilst the Queen was up in Scotland, who was found by police in Buckingham Palace Gardens?
This was Prince Andrew.
Yes.
And apparently the police stopped him. They thought he was a waster, and it turned out they were right.
He does a voice of the music go, state your business. He'd go, 10 years enough. You there with the tan and the golf clubs. Before you get into that helicopter. Who are you? What are you doing here?
They said they wanted him to prove that he was a royal, and apparently he just stood around doing nothing, and they took that as sufficient proof. So...
Do you know the most stupid thing about this is he apparently said to the policeman who stopped him, he said, do you know who I am? And to which the answer is, clearly not.
He does have that look of a man who's eaten Prince Andrew.
I think he actually lives in the garden. He was found in the garden, wasn't
Yes, he was. He was walking
Do you think he
around
actually
the
lives in the garden?
He had a big
Is he like Stig of the Dump? Does he live in the garden? That's what I want to know. Has he fallen so far down the royal pecking order that he now actually just lives in the garden of nuts and berries and stuff?
What was the timeline of this, though? Was this before the burglary or was this after the burglary?
It was after. Sorry, there was a burglary. A man broke in 2 days before.
2 days before.
Yeah, hence there was a lot of... They were all on a little bit more...
They didn't think that man was still hanging around there, did they? 2 days after
They
the
often
burglary.
return to the scene of the crime. That is one of the things I've learned about the criminal classes over the years. Who did they contact, by the way, to give a comment on this break-in?
Oh, Michael Fagan.
Michael Fagan. Michael Fagan, who broke into Buckingham Palace 30 years ago and sat on the edge of the Queen's bed for an hour until eventually... I think it's like she said, would you like a cup of tea? And he said, I'll just ring for one. Somebody in my room!
They all said that
I need like a cup of tea!
They said that was very dangerous, didn't they? Because he sat on the edge of the Queen's bed, but the edge of the Queen's bed is up to a quarter of a mile away from the Queen.
I can't believe people aren't breaking in the whole time to Buckingham Palace. It's one of the few places where there's a flag to tell you if anyone's home or not. I bet they don't cancel the milk or anything. You know?
You think as they leave, they're about to put down, and she goes, no, leave the flag up. Yeah. Right? Leave the flag up and one light in the hall. Yeah.
Because the whole country was shocked, I think, by the burglary. Everyone thinking, how can you get an intruder into the palace? We were all shocked by it, except Helen Mirren, who's probably thinking, right, that's another film for me to do then. I'll probably get Liam Neeson in
the
to
Queen
play
too. Who's in my house?
Liam Neeson playing the burglar. Liam Neeson playing the burglar, going, so, you're probably wondering how I got into your bedroom, Your Majesty. How does Aslan ever get anywhere? Came in through the wardrobe.
I honestly thought you were going to go with Taken instead. I honestly thought you were going to say, I have a very specific set of skills.
I didn't see adult films, I just see the child film.
Yes, oh, sorry.
What is anyone talking about?
Perhaps, Miles, we weren't talking.
Very good. The end of that round, the points go to Miles, Hal and Andy. Now we play a round called Set Your Phasers to Fun. This game involves Hal and Gary, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launched a wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. The winner is whoever I think is the funniest. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. First subject is building. Who wants to come in on that? Hal Cruttenden.
Building freaks me out a bit. Well, builders intimidate me, because I've had builders come to work at my house, and they work for like 2 days, then go away for a week. And you end up making that phone call to them, and it makes me feel like a little kid whose parents have split up and the dad's being really crap. It's the same conversation. You just go, you said you'd come on Saturday. You said you'd be here on Saturday. I'm really sorry, mate. I've been really busy. I can make it Tuesday. Do you promise you'll come on Tuesday? Can we go to the park? I love you. They intimidate me. I've had a builder come and give me a quote on a problem in my house and make it worse right in front of my face. Literally feeling my wall, going, yeah, feel that damp, mate. That's chronic. That's soaking wet, yeah? All round there, that's soaking wet, yeah? I put a little knife in, yeah? Watch it crumble. Look at the plaster fall away from your wall. Look at the size of that hole in your wall. That hole wasn't there when you arrived. It's massive, isn't it, mate? It's massive. No other job does that. No other job diagnoses a problem by making it worse, do they? Nobody. You know, doctors don't go, I think you've got brittle bones, mate, I do, and then stamp on your leg, do they? See that, mate? Your leg was like a twig, yeah? I think you got a dodgy heart as well. Boom! See, you're having a heart attack, you see? I actually tried to help this builder finish our kitchen, and he just stopped and went, mate, and I kind of jumped because I'd been momentarily transfixed by the beauty of the bubble in the spirit level. He just stopped. He said, seriously, mate, leave it. You don't know what you're doing. I'll finish it off. And that night I had a dream that I was making love to my wife. And he walked in and said, seriously, mate, leave it. You don't know what you're doing. I'll finish it off.
Thank you very much, Hal Cruttenden. OK, it's Gary now, so let's see what topic you've got, Gary. Let's spin the wheel. Topic is childhood.
As a child, I was made to walk the plank. We couldn't afford a dog. My 6-year-old refuses to eat anything other than alphabeti spaghetti. Luckily, he's dyslexic, so I just buy him normal spaghetti. Seems to work. Dad, these are all L's. Yeah, it's Welsh. I bought him some medicine for his ADHD. On the side of the bottle, it said concentrate. I thought, if he could do that... I bought a really nice 12-year-old scotch. Obviously, his parents weren't pleased. I hate people who complain about breastfeeding in public. Like, I don't want to see it, or that's disgusting, or you can't do that, you're not a woman. And that's not a baby. As kids, we always enjoyed dipping ginger nuts into a steaming hot cup of tea, but of course nowadays that's called bullying. I shouldn't do that, by the way. Ginger jokes are the last vestiges of racism in comedy, and they started a ginger pride movement to stamp that shit out. They had a march in Hyde Park. Well, they were going to when the sun came out. Nan always said that when she was young, she never had to worry about leaving her back door open. What a slag. I'm totally going to get in trouble with the family again. This is really not worth it. You got to look after your health as you get older. The other day I did a poo and noticed there was a little blood in it. I said, "Oi, bruv, get out my toilet, innit?" Thank you.
Well done, Guy Delaney. Well done, both of you. Hoist for both of you. Come on back. Our next round is called If This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Alistair, what category would you like?
I'll go for sport, please.
OK, Grant, your category is sport. The answer is 56 years. What is the question?
Well, is it Eddie Izzard's next challenge for sport relief? I'm going to run for 56 years without stopping. In 3 languages. We're the family of chinchillas.
Is it when somebody says they're 13 online, how old are they actually?
Is it when is the next train to Morden via Bank?
Is this how old Dara will look when he's 45?
Oh,
It's just in jest.
She was 45 12 years ago.
Is it how long have BT been telling me my call is important to them?
Is it what is the age difference between the male and female presenters on Sky Sports News?
Is it how long is part 2 of The Hobbit?
How long does 56-year Ron Sale-Woodstone last for?
I don't know about you guys, but this is the age of consent for my daughters.
Is it at the time of the Big Bang? How long had Bruce Forsyth already been alive?
Is it how long you could travel in space with the right oxygen supply and just Dara beam for company?
OK.
We'd both be very happy, thank you very much.
Is it how long is the gap between each edition of the monthly magazine I'm No Good at Maths?
Is it pick an arbitrary length of time?
Is it how much bad luck if you break a glitter ball?
Proper joke. And you know what 56
what
Is it the gap between Tokyo Olympics?
It is absolutely the gap between different Tokyo Olympics. Thank you very, very much.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant.
Yes, the question I was looking for is what will the gap between Olympic Games be for the newly announced 2020 host city Tokyo? This is news that Tokyo has beaten rivals Madrid and Istanbul to stage the 2020 Olympics and Paralympics. The last time the city hosted the Olympics was in 1964.
France are going to be pissed off, aren't they? Because, like, Japan's got it, Spain didn't get it, and Turkey didn't get it. Now, Spain didn't have any money, Turkey's next to a war zone, and Japan's had some nuclear meltdown, and still Paris can't get the Games.
Yeah.
Aren't the 2020 Olympics for people with perfect vision?
Harsh for the 2020 Paralympics blind events, if you expect that as well. Honestly.
I think the mascot for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics has got to be Godzilla, hasn't it? I mean, it'd be fantastic. They're all doing the sailing, and then suddenly this mascot looms out of the sea. They'll break world records. They'll never have sailed that quickly.
They said, didn't they? They said that Fukushima was no problem because it's how far away is it?
It's 100 miles away.
So that gives them lots of time to stop the mutant lizard destroying the opening ceremony.
I didn't know Boris Johnson was going.
Yeah.
How are they... So what is the Japanese government going to do about Fukushima?
In my experience, these things tend to sort themselves out.
Give it a couple of million years, it'll be fine.
This too shall pass. Just about 10 million years.
Just hope during the Olympics the rowers don't fall out of their boats, you know, into the radioactive water. Double skulls? Yes, actually.
Coptus fours.
I'm waiting for the the Fukushima is they're going to build an ice wall to trap the water, because the water's dripping out of
Is it
them.
being solved by the X-Men or something?
I'm not saying they're going to build it with their minds. They're actually going to have to take with the machine and stuff. They're going to storm, make ice wall with your breath.
What will the ice wall do then? You did physics.
It'll block the bad things from getting into the other place. Obviously, I've made it a little bit more comprehensible.
They've actually restarted fishing off Fukushima, haven't they? And so you can now apparently get real fish fingers and and a cod drumstick. So,
which sports, by the way, are back in the Olympics and look like they weren't going to be in?
Whaling.
Yeah.
You watch, they'll be right back in with that.
Yeah.
Kiss chase.
Yeah, kiss chase is in, yeah. Hide and seek, they're doing that.
Hide and seek was. Somebody actually did propose hide and seek.
Iraq would win that.
Yeah. Which of David Cameron's current favourite projects is coming under increasing criticism at the moment?
this is the HS2, the high-speed rail link between London and Birmingham. National Audit Office have said that it is based on assumptions that don't actually tally with real life. And I'm guessing one of those assumptions is the idea that anybody wants to get to Birmingham in a hurry.
But they keep talking about the spiralling costs, and I think, well, why build it as a spiral? Surely if you just built it flat.
We should be proud of our rail network anyway, because the British rail network is absolutely fantastic. The British trains provide, for example, unparalleled views of the British countryside, don't they? Often without the blurring effects of velocity.
But apparently it's going to cost £80 billion, and you're thinking surely it would be cheaper to find anybody who wants to get to Birmingham in a hurry and just buy them a house in Birmingham.
For £80 billion, £80 billion, you could knock down Birmingham and rebuild it closer to London.
Exactly.
At the end of that round, the points go to Alistair, Hugh and Gary. Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, please. I'll read out this week's topics and then we'll see what our panellists can come up with. OK, here we go. The first subject is unlikely things for a sports commentator to say.
And the starting pistol's gone off, and Oscar Pistorius has got his arms in the air, claiming his innocence already.
Well, good news here in Flushing Meadow. Murray has broken Djokovic. Both legs, one arm. He won't recover from that.
Oh, clearly that's a dive by Tom Daley.
So it's 1-1 at half-time, and... sorry, I'm finding it hard to concentrate here. Gareth Southgate has just had me in absolute stitches. And that's an unfortunate wardrobe malfunction for the Ukrainian women shot putter there as a bollock pops out.
Well, do you know, I've completely forgotten when England won the World Cup.
130 kilograms. This would be a world record, but this small Peruvian is determined to swallow it and get it through customs.
And as he approaches the corner at 200 miles an hour, they really need to check out this cyclist for drugs.
And as a mark of respect, the Great Britain water polo team will be wearing armbands.
Croquet does not get better than this.
Well, my watch has 3 additional minutes. Don't buy a Rolex from a street market.
Hello, I'm Michael Owen. Welcome to the millions of you watching on BT Sport.
And he's got 4 off 1 ball. It's a lot of children that Lance Armstrong has fathered.
And the sumo wrestler grunts as his opponent enters the ring. Pretty sure that move's illegal.
Well, it's 1:30 and the covers are still on. Kevin Peterson simply won't get out of fucking bed.
And Tiger Woods is going for his 3rd hole of the afternoon. Surely by now he should have left the hotel.
And welcome to the 2020 Tokyo Olympic sailing competition. Oh my God, Godzilla!
OK, the next topic is... commercials that never made it to air.
I wipe my arse with Colgate. And now, I've got a ring of confidence.
If it tastes like butter and spreads straight from the fridge, you've probably had a power cut.
Condoms, because if she'd sleep with you, she'd sleep with anyone.
Ryanair, because I'm worth shit.
As leader of the Labour Party, I always like to look my best. It's very important to me to have a smooth finish, which is why I use the Mach 4. As I often say,
That was a close shave, wasn't it, Grommy?
Frosties, they're all right.
New BG from Garnier. Exfoliates, hydrates, epilates, urinates. Probably not that last one.
Unlimited minutes, unlimited text, unlimited music downloads. Yes, it's our new twat on a train tariff.
Have a break. Have a wank.
Maybe she's born with it. In which case, I probably shouldn't take the piss.
Bekele has to walk for 5 miles every day for fresh water. That's why she ought to be thinking about the new Mazda.
Coco Chanel. Says bloody horrible, I'm sticking to Horlicks.
Lidl, because life didn't work out as you planned.
Hi, I'm Kevin Bacon, doing an ad on British TV. What happened?
Have you got that bloated, uncomfortable feeling in your stomach? Then try going for a shit.
The DFS furniture sale is not currently on.
This Christmas, get Mocked a Week on DVD, featuring all the regulars, Dara, Bryn, and through this week, Delaney, Parsons, Will, Milton Jones, and of course, don't forget Mickey Flanagan, East End of London, and of course, everybody, very good, Chris Allison. Everyone. Dylan, the point to Alistair, Hugh, and Gary.
And that's the end of the show. This week's winners are Andy Parsons, Cruttenden, and Jupp. Commiserations to Alistair McGowan, Hugh Dennis, and Gary Delaney. Thank you for watching. I'm Dara. Good night.
More comedy tomorrow night here on BBC Two. Noel Fielding and Ross Noble bring their own surrealist trains of thought to QI at 10.